215. Last. Mizuki. Chapter 5. M1. Well, hey howdy everyone, Locity here, back in action for
Oh, you came. Good.
what
Want
seems to
something
be the
drink?
last attraction.
With water? On the rocks? You don't have to be shy. It's on me. It's such a bizarre case, the HB serial killings. That being said, the facts are fairly straightforward. Pointing out a culprit can't be too hard. Do you already know? Terror. Who are they, really?
Oh? Who is Terror? I don't know who Terror is, really. Let's go with Mothman. All the trans girls wanna fuck Mothman. Who is Terror? Play a boat, right? Mama. Mama! I'm guessing it's Uru. It doesn't make sense for it to be Jin. Doesn't make sense for it to be Mama.
Right. Uru. We know he killed at least 3 people. Jin Furue, Chikara Horadori, Andes Komeiji. But why did he kill them? What was his goal?
For the nirvanA initiative? For revenge? For personal enjoyment? To build schools in Africa? He might have built schools from Africa. I mean, honestly, fam, it might be that. For the nirvanA initiative.
That's right. The nirvanA initiative. The loony plan to have humans reach moksha.
Oh, what if
That's
Ryuki?
why Uru killed the 3 of them.
Because we don't have
We can
anything.
put aside the little details for now. The most concerning aspect of the whole thing is the time difference. The left and right sides of the victims were found 6 years apart.
I don't know why
Regarding
that
the
is.
first victim, the facts are already in. 6 years ago, on February 10th, Jin Furue's body fell from the ceiling of Devaita. And this year, 5 days ago, also on the 10th, Uru Somizuki's left half was found at the stadium, not Jin's. Plastic surgery and complete organ transplants. It fooled the investigators into thinking they were the same person. But what about the other victims? Chikara, Komeiji, Tokiko. How do you explain those 3?
Don't know.
You have good intuition. You might already know.
What did it seem like these bodies appeared after 6 years? Professor Brown created a time machine. The timeline was not in the correct order. Ryuki and Mizuki were hallucinating. The timeline was not in the correct order. That doesn't make sense. But the hallucinating? That does.
No, not hallucinations. The right and left half of their bodies were found. No doubt about that.
So then the timeline.
Right. In other words, it's not like that. It's like this.
Oh.
This is the timeline that you actually experienced. The red and blue lines are intertwined, almost like DNA. You started on the red line from the top, and then followed the blue line, which led you to this point. You've traversed 4 X's. The left side is 6 years ago, and the right side is this year. To make things easier, we'll call the left side past, and the right side present. In other words, you came here, jumping back and forth between past and present, a day at a time, all to end up here. Now do you understand? Chikara's right half was found the night of the 11th, in the past. His left half was found the next morning. Komeiji's right half was found on the 13th. His left half was found the next morning at 6 a.m.
I was wondering how that went down. with the left hand business. But they didn't say 6 years. They didn't point it as like a thing. So the first part was to confuse me.
6 years have passed, and now we're here. In the present, Tokiko's right half was found on February 12th. The next day, a little past midnight, her left half was found in the basement of Horodori Institute. Long story short, the left and right halves weren't found 6 years apart. They were all found soon after each other. Nothing supernatural here.
Just a little tricky. So Ryuki was doing the case. True flowchart. This is the chart that shows the flow of the story in a chronological order. The true flowchart can be checked from the menu, flowchart. So, have this. This is present, this is 6 years ago. All the way to here, then it goes this way. Because this is Ryuki's side, effectively, right? Yeah, this is Ryuki's side. So, he was the universe. So we're here now. We have one more subminion to go with. And everything else. Okay. 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Anyway, that's just my genius analysis. Oh, but I know what you're gonna say. There's still tons of things that can't be explained, right? Especially, who killed Uru and Tokiko? Jin, Chikara, Komeiji. It was Terror, Uru, who sliced these 3 in half. But then Uru was killed in the present, February 10th.
Huh.
Tokiko's body was found after that. So who killed Uru and Tokiko?
So they're the latest victims.
Well, I'm sure this mess will be cleared up soon.
So
by
it's...
Mizuki, her friend, and by you, Freyr.
Oh, it's me, Freyr.
So anyway, good luck with the rest of your investigation. I'll be cheering you on.
Thank you. So we're a Freyr, eh?
Uh-huh? Who was I just talking to? Maybe I've had a bit too much to drink. It's awfully cold tonight.
Oh, mama. Ooh. Yeah, that's some tricky writing there. You just have the first half mention the 6 years, and then just you say it back and forth with a few other things. Island Garden, February 15th, Friday, 3:10 p.m. Oh, they're here?
Hey, about Kizzy. Are you sure she's okay? Don't worry. I made sure she's fine.
You made sure? Kisano went missing. Last night around 11 o'clock, Arichi Chida, her father, contacted me. Aiba and I started our search for Kizzy. After a while on the phone, it was from her. She told me to meet her at Iowans.
So, that makes us sisters? We're not the same age, but we're like identical twins. We have almost the same genes. That's crazy.
Oh,
I'm
it's
a copy of
Chikara.
you. Don't say it like that. But I'm your clone, right? Technically, yes. But our DNA isn't exactly the same.
Wait,
My genome was rearranged. Your DNA was modified on top of that. which is why you don't have the symptoms I have. Basically, you're an upgrade. The perfect version of me.
Oh.
Don't say it like that.
Okay. A slide. There's a clock on the side of the tower. Big tree. There's a sandbox. A swing set. Playground steps. A ride that swings back and forth on the spring. Okay, so my older sister. Technically she's the original that I was based off of, but I don't want to think about it like that. He's more of my big sister by proxy.
Yeah, the same as me. When I was 6, you were born at Horadori Institute and sent here. I'm guessing they thought it was too difficult to raise you at the Institute. I remember the day you arrived like it was yesterday. You were still a baby. But the moment I saw you, I got this feeling.
Oh.
I started bawling my eyes out. The people at the facility didn't know we were related. Makes sense. They were told we were from 2 different places. But we're both named Mizuki, and we looked really similar. So to make it easier, everyone started calling me Big Sis.
So that's how Kizuna knows her.
They called you Mizuki.
Okay. Yeah, what happened after
They
this?
took me to Horadori Institute every so often for examinations. Well, I say examinations. I mean human experiments. I don't think you remember, but they did terrible things. I remember getting shots with needles as big as boba straws. My time with Horadori Institute ended when I was 9, and you were 3. It shut down and we were finally free.
Yeah, a 3-year-old
That's
would not
about
know.
the time you were adopted by the Okiura family. But me? Well, I told you about me, right? You were blind in one eye and had a heart condition. Right. So it was hard to find a family who would take me. Ultimately, it was Mr. Chieda, the chairman. So when you were 9, you were adopted by the Chiedas. I
Oh.
spent the next 6 years there. Up until I was 15, I lived under the same roof as Kizuna.
Oh.
I see. That's why she called me Big Sis.
What about after?
You said something about an eccentric woman? Yeah, I was adopted by her.
Boss? My boss?
Do you mean Shizue Kuranushi? Boss.
Ah! So, she knew. And that's how she has an eye there. That's an eyeball. That's like Aiba.
Which is why my name is Mizuki Kuranushi now.
Oh, that's sweet.
You think that sounds kinda lame, huh? No, it's not that.
This is really sweet. They're all connected.
You know how we're stronger than everybody else? Maybe she thought I'd come in handy. So she wanted to make you work for her. I don't know if that's the truth, but that's what she told me. Boss taught me how to fight. After she adopted me, she trained me hard every day.
Oh.
6 years ago, when I was 18, I was hired as a top secret member of Abyss.
Oh.
Boss wanted someone who she could rely on. Someone who would never betray her. She trusted me to handle the most sensitive situations. Basically, I'm like a ninja. Well, a kunoichi. Which is why my existence at Abyss had been hidden. The only people who know are Boss, Pewter, and Ryuki.
Ryuki knows?
Ryuki? Why? I wonder.
Why does Ryuki know?
If I revealed myself to you, you would want to know everything. And one way or another, you'd find out. You'd find out that your genes were spliced. That your real parents aren't Renju and Shoko.
I mean, they're still
I didn't
not.
want you to end up like me. I wanted you to live a normal life. As normal as possible, anyway. Get a normal job, a normal husband, get married, start a family, live happily ever after. A life like that. But if I showed up, I would ruin all that. That's what I thought, at least. I see. Well, why didn't you tell me 7 years ago in November? I was already well on my way to an abnormal life at that point. Maybe that's true. It's like I told you. I want to know who did this to me. I know that Chikara was the mastermind, but I want solid proof. That's why I was investigating him and his institute. But then, out of the blue, he gets killed. That's why I started following the HB case.
Okay, about February then. I asked her about what happened back then. She told me the details of what happened on the 12th and the 14th. The 12th. The 14th.
If you do, I will kill her. I have an abundant amount of money. Even if I were to die, the assassins I've hired would still find her.
I see. That's why you didn't talk about what happened 6 years ago. But I think it's okay to start talking now. Why? I was able to freeze all of Terror's hidden accounts. We don't need to worry about any assassins anymore. I bet you don't remember anything from February 6 years ago, do you?
I do not. My body was destroyed in the explosion at the cathedral. The Abyss communication network was also offline, so there was no backup taken.
By the way, I'm curious. Why were we given the same name? I don't know. Maybe they didn't really care about the name. But wouldn't that make it harder to tell us apart at the Institute? I don't think they had any trouble. We had code names at Horadori Institute. I was Mouse, and you were Rabbit.
Oh!
And you remember what they called us at Iowan, right? You were Big Sis, and I was Mizuki. Yeah. Is that what I called you? No. You were still little. You couldn't talk much. You just called me BB.
Aww!
BB?
BB?
Yeah. BB, huh? Anyway, we've already spent enough time here. We shouldn't be wasting time like this. Good point. There's still tons we don't know about the HB case. Follow me. I want to show you something. Huh? What is it? Oh, no. It's nothing. Let's go, BB.
BB, static shock! Collect all persons files. We did it! We have every one of them. Ramen World Cuisine, February 15th, Friday. 4:15 p.m. Oh, a.m. actually. Y'all really just moved over here?
Ah! What the fuck? This is information overload. My brains are gonna flow out of my ears. Jeez, just relax. I can't.
Oh, she's called BB here. Oh.
What is this corpse doing here? And why are Kizzy and Leon here? Oh, and most importantly, who the hell is this?
What, isn't it obvious?
Wait, you're that stupid porno mag collecting old man.
No.
Yes.
Why are you dressed like that? Where is Genny? What are you doing here? And one last thing. Where have you been the past 6 years? Why didn't you try to contact me?
I'm sorry, Mizuki.
Right, you better be.
Okay. I think I kind of get it. 6 years ago, Date lost his memory when the ceiling collapsed on him. Then he got captured by terror but managed to escape.
And he's been wandering the Earth for the past 6 years.
5 days ago, on the 10th, he heard the news about Jin's body being found.
And finally got his memory back.
That's right.
My voice reaches Date's brain right now. That's because there is a reception device in his left eye socket. You can mute me by turning it off, but that's a real hassle if it's still on. The same for Mizuki Kuranishi. She hears my voice too. Mizuki Kuranishi is kind of long. I'll just call her BB. Yeah, let's call her BB. Gotta be B, gotta be B. I love it. What do you got? What kind of dance do you like? Let's like the... It's one of the traditional Indian dances. I love it. Good. Better love it. I like how Date's just hanging like here. The stupid perverted porn mag collecting old man. Also my adoptive father. Ugh.
What? Do you have more insults to hurl at me for missing 6 years of your life?
No, it's not that. Maybe she just wanted to hear you say, Mizuki, you've grown so much, or something emotional like that. No, not that either.
Ah, right. For you, it's been 6 years. For me, it's different. I've been back for 4 days dressed like this. I've been watching you guys the whole time, so I don't really have anything sappy to say.
I told you it's not that!
I'm home. Welcome back. Is that what you wanted to hear?
Oh, you're gonna make me cry again. Fuck you. Fuck you. Damn it. You're such a family. Fuck you. Fuck you, game. Why you gotta do that to me? Like.
Alright, okay. Let me try this again. Mizuki? I'm home.
Welcome back, Date. But that's not what I wanted to say. I threw away all your porno mags.
Good. Obliterate the man. Obliterate him. Fuck. Okay, I think I'm calm now, but fuck you. It's kissy. Okay, I guess we could just talk to Date's.
I know that Horadori Institute and Nyes are both caught up in the HB case. Gen was created at the Institute, and he was acquaintances with Tokiko. So, by borrowing his mask, I could snoop on Tokiko and other members of Horadori Institute.
But why do you still look like that here?
Horadori Institute and Nyes people come here all the time. Imitating Gen makes it easier to eavesdrop on them.
Okay, yeah, why did you reveal it?
And to be honest, this has gotten way out of hand. I can't do this on my own. We need to work together to stop their plan.
Their plan?
Yeah, the nirvanA initiative. So first, I contacted Mizuki Kuranishi.
Date and I met 6 years ago. He knew how to get a hold of me.
I shared everything I had, and told her to find you, Mizuki.
To help stop them?
Basically.
Oh! So that was... Eh? I still don't quite get it.
Let's talk about it later. Trust me, if I explain it now, it'll only confuse you.
So was BB effectively the one that investigated 6 years ago along with Ryuki? Don't quite.
Why do you ask?
No reason.
It is currently 4:25 a.m. Daybreak is close.
Yeah, why are you
There's
here?
a reason I'm here with Kizzy. I got a call from my old pal Date.
I asked him to unlock something for me.
Are you talking about the freezer?
No, I got that open on the 13th.
It was a different lock this time.
Eh?
Anyway, that is when we met with Date and the woman he was with.
The woman? I was there too.
Okay, the menu. Kitchen. Refrigerator case.
I've known her for a long time. She's a former coworker from back when I was doing bad stuff.
Oh?
Back then, I used to call her Quartz.
Hey, don't just blurt that out.
Mizuki's name comes from crystal. The kanji for crystal can be read as Mizuki.
Crystals are the solid form of silicon dioxide, a mineral.
I want to call her
Most
Quartz.
often recognized as quartz.
Quartz
Wait,
is a cute
so
name.
You were in a Thieves Guild, BB? The snow isn't letting up. Don't change the subject.
Oh, I love it. Okay.
It is snowing outside, but do not worry about us. My heart is burning strong.
Well, that's good.
I am a little embarrassed to admit this, but Leon and I plan to elope.
What?
May I ask why?
Kizzy's father won't accept me.
He threatened to send Leon to prison if he continued to see me,
And that's when I suggested that we run off together.
and I agreed.
So you two...
Yeah, they're both on the run for love.
But we don't know exactly where we want to go yet.
Right. We need some more time to think about it. I suppose Big Sis has already told you everything. Big Sis and I lived in the same home for 6 years. But I never thought my Big Sis was my Big Sis's Big Sis.
So confusing.
Anyway, Mizuki Date, I will call you Little Big Sis from now on.
Hell
And
yeah.
you, Mizuki Kuranushi, I will call you Big Big Sis.
Still, just as confusing.
Mizuki is BB's clone. Date already knows this. BB told him. But Kizuna and Leon don't know this yet. They think they are just sisters.
I have told him that I am safe and sound.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you weren't kidnapped.
I am so sorry that I worried you.
Yeah, I'm sorry about all this, you guys.
Okay, so we got that. Did that. Now it's just BB's turn. My original, BB.
BB. But what? Oh, nothing. I just wanted to call you by that name.
Oh, she's a little embarrassed.
I don't know. Not here.
It's fine, I know where he is. Don't you have an idea too?
Okay, I'll ask again. What's the deal with the corpse? Why is it in the freezer?
It's better that you see for yourself.
Let me just show you.
Another corpse?
No, not one more.
Not one at all.
It's half.
Nice Japan branch, February 15th, Friday, 5:55 a.m.
So, you finished reading the file.
Yeah. Now do you understand? Now you know whose left half is in the freezer. Jin. Jin Furue. That's what he really looks like.
And this body?
Uru Somizuki. Terror. He murdered 3 people 6 years ago. Jin, Chikara, and Andy's Kameji.
Okay. A barren pervert. Valid. It's destroyed. Uru's right half.
This box.
The wall is partially broken. There's a hidden safe behind it. Okay. You changed? About Jin Furue.
That outfit was so hard to move in. With the wireframe and all the stuffing.
Leon and Kizuna aren't here right now.
They're not going far away, are they?
They should be fine. They said they were going to think hard about where to go.
Okay.
I don't need to explain it. You should already know.
Jin Furue, the child of Tokiko and Chikara.
He was born with a rare and complicated disease. It caused inoperable tumors to grow in the right half of his body.
Jin might have had it worst of all. He got his first transplant when he was really young. I don't think he wanted to take organs from Uru. Remember what it said in Uru's diary? He said he wanted to apologize. I think he is referring to Jin. So you think the transplant was done against Jin's will? I'm not positive, but that's just the feeling I get.
Okay. Please.
Only a few hours ago, around 1 a.m.
I asked Leon to open the door to the staircase.
So the lock you mentioned earlier.
That's right. The lock to the staircase door.
That's when I asked them about their plans to run away together.
Then the 4 of us headed down the stairs. Leon carried Kizuna down.
And that's when we found the corpse on the ritual platform.
Okay.
I used Marco's X-ray function.
Marcos.
Marco? The name of my AI ball in my left eye. He's pretty shy. He doesn't talk much. Unlike someone else I know.
Excuse me, are you talking about me?
I know Iba really well. We were partners 6 years ago.
Oh, they were. Oh, so that was Mizu. So.
When I was hired at Abyss, I was supposed to get Marco transplanted into my left eye. But he wasn't finished yet. So instead, I got Iba. But Iba and Date. Yeah, Iba and Date were kind of fighting at the time. And I needed to see if I was compatible with an AI ball at all, so...
Oh, so that's why they still said Mizuki. But did Iba not know that was her Mizuki?
I see. I apologize. I do not remember anything from back then.
Because of the explosion, right?
Yes.
It's kinda sad. I made so many memories with you, Iba.
That's insane. I did not know that was how it went. Okay. So we have played as BB. That's cool as hell. Yo, what?
Well, you see, I was so preoccupied with my work.
No. It was because you tried watching VR porn while Iba was still in your left eye.
That does sound like something that would make me very angry.
I told you 1,000,000 times, it was just a watermelon splitting video.
Oh, I love it.
I wanted to ask Shoma about the genetic experiments, so I visited him.
And I looked like Gen, so it didn't raise any concerns.
He told me a lot.
About his body and his older sister. And about the hidden safe.
That's what we came here for. Wait, Shoma has an older sister?
Yeah.
You know her well.
Kizuna and Iris' friend.
A mermaid at some fish pocket.
A Mame Doi.
Really?
Yep, apparently.
I can't really say anything more than what's in the file. Uru Somazuki. He's the child that was kidnapped from Iowan when he was 6.
It was Chikara and Tokiko who took him. They wanted to make him Jin Furue's donor.
So for over a decade, they did surgery after surgery, giving more and more of Uru to Jin. Half of his face, too.
The skin he lost was replaced by an artificial skin made of carbon chitin. Half his face was transplanted onto Jin's as well.
Right. And it was only half because Jin had a percent-shaped birthmark on the left side of his face.
A holy symbol for the Order of Percent. It was considered sacred.
And Chikara, being a devoted follower, couldn't get himself to rip that skin off.
Which is why the left half of Jin's face was left untouched.
And after all those transplants, Jin's body ended up being cut in half.
6 years later, February of this year, Uru's body was cut in half.
So what was discovered was Jin's right half and Uru's left half.
Jin and Uru are essentially mirror images of one another.
So when the police were identifying Uru's body, they got their DNA sample to compare against from Jin's organs.
And because those were originally taken from Uru, it naturally follows that they match.
So that's why...
That is the mistake that caused investigators to believe that they were the same person.
I've been wondering, 6 years ago, why did Uru cut the bodies in half? That was for the nirvanA initiative, right? Yeah, but what does that have to do with the plan? And speaking of, is the nirvanA initiative still happening? I mean, after all, Terror's dead. Right, the mastermind is dead. But you saw it, on the night of the 13th, on the rooftop of Misatan. That was Terror. It was definitely Uru's voice, but Uru should have been dead.
Perhaps his voice was recorded.
Either way, the rehearsal happened even after Terror died. Which means...
The main event will likely still happen as well.
Yeah, it's safe to assume it will proceed as planned.
But I still don't understand the full scope of the nirvanA initiative.
When, where, how? We are completely in the dark.
Why don't you ask the culprit?
Yeah, good idea. Hey, Uru, what's up with your plan, you asshole?
No, that's not what I meant. There are other culprits. Whoever killed Uru and Tokiko.
You believe they might know something about the nirvanA initiative?
I don't know for sure, but they at least might have some clues.
Ooh. Who
We
would
don't have
know?
enough information yet. Looks like we're gonna need some extra help.
Because it can't be Leanne, it can't be Kizzy, it can't be Amame. Shoma?
Help?
Over here. Come with me.
There's nothing over here.
You would think that, right? But check this out.
Open sesame!
Brutal man.
Marco, please. What is this?
Do you like it? Erotic, isn't it?
How is this in any way erotic?
It's a hole.
Much more erotic than watermelon splitting.
Let's get going. Yeah.
Next time. Sayonara. Bye bye.